box of holly rocking around the Christmas tree. Have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in new old-fashioned
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock.
Santa, tell me if you're really there. Don't make me fall in love again. You won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if he really cares. 'Cause I can't give it all away if he won't be here next year. Feeling Christmas all around, and I'm trying to play it cool, but it's hard to focus when I see him walk across the room. Let it snow is blasting loud, and I won't get in the mood. I'm avoiding every mistletoe until I know it's true love that he thinks of. So next Christmas, I'm not all alone, boy. Santa, tell me if you're really there. Don't make me fall in love again if he won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if he really cares. 'Cause I can't give it all away if he won't be here next year. I've been down this road before, fell in love on Christmas night, but I knew you'd say I woke up and he wasn't by my side. Now I need someone to hold, be my fire in the cold, but it's hard to tell if this is just a fling or if it's true love that he thinks of. So this Christmas, I'm not alone, boy. Santa, tell me if you're really there. Don't make me fall in love again if he won't be here next year. Santa, tell me if he really cares. 'Cause I can't give it all away if
You got to take your car in, Pa? Wait till I tell you the latest on my car from Friday. Oh, boy.
From the bottom of my heart, I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
All out the holly, put up the tree before my spirit falls again. Fill up the stocking, I may be rushing things, but deck the halls again now. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear.
Yeah, they still have my car. Today's the 2-month anniversary. I brought it into them on October 18th. Today's December 18th.
Slice up the fruit cake. It's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bough. For I've grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little sadder, grown a little older, and I need a little.
I went up there on Friday. If any of the other people in that lobby up there on Friday would have had their cell phone out, I'd be all over TikTok right now as a hashtag male Karen. I yelled at everybody with a heartbeat up there for 30 minutes.
Mom, it's 1 week past Thanksgiving Day now.
Then after I did that, while standing in the lobby, I got on my phone and called about 4 other people and yelled at them on speakerphone.
The spinet, yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry, so climb down the chimney.
And that's just the beginning of the story.
Time since I felt that neighborly. Slice up the fruit cake. It's time we hung some tinsel on that bakery bough.
I actually don't think it's being a Karen if you're 100% in the right. And I'm 100% in the right.
Ringing through the rafter, and we need a little snappy, happy ever after. Need a little Christmas now. For we need a little music, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the rafter, and we need a little snappy, happy ever after. Need a little Christmas now. Need a little Christmas now.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. With you, shawty with you. With you, shawty with you. With you, under the mistletoe.
Everyone's gathering around the fire, chestnuts roasting like a hot July. I should be chilling with my folks, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Word on the street, Santa's coming tonight. Reindeer flying through the sky so high. I should be making a list, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe.
open up to me and you can get your presents early. Tell Santa, that's for me, don't touch my milk and cookies. I whip the sleigh over, she'll be there waiting for me. Hey, Rudolph, hey, like the way I'm on my way to you. And through a blizzard, no, my heart still burns for you. Mistletoe, you already know what I'ma do. So let's dance, I've been to France, I learned a thing or two. Parlez-vous. It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the...
Is that Millis Vanilla's house right there with his Beetle?
I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. With you, shawty with you. With you, shawty with you. With you, under the mistletoe. With you, shawty with you. With you, shawty with you. With you, under the mistletoe. Kiss me underneath the mistletoe. Show me, baby, that you love me so. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Kiss me underneath the mistletoe. Show me, baby, that you love me so. Oh, oh.
Yeah, good morning. Happy Monday. Christmas is a week away, right? Yeah, week from today. Christmas and New Year's Day on a Monday this year. So Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve on a Sunday. No college football on New Year's Eve. That's great. I don't like the New Year's Eve Christmas games. I mean the New Year's Eve bowl games, whether it's playoffs or anything else, especially at night. I feel like it puts too many people in a unwinnable situation. Like people that would want to watch the games, but they have some sort of something they go to every year on New Year's Eve. I don't know. I just feel like it's a bad idea to have the college football games on New Year's Eve. So no college football games on New Year's Eve this year because it's on a Sunday. I guess there'll be NFL games on, but no college football bowl games on New Year's Eve this year. Yeah. Some of the bigger games are the day before on the 30th, which is a Saturday. And then the playoff games, I believe, are on New Year's Day. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Yeah, I guess some people stay home on New Year's Eve anyway, but I don't know. Even if you stay home, there might be something you do, some sort of tradition you do that doesn't involve college football. Me, I don't give a shit. I just, if there's college football on, I just tell people I'm not, whatever it is, I'm not going to be there. That's just that. I got to work. Sorry. Bowl games this week, I don't know. There's not a single decent bowl game. I'm I don't know. Now I'll be streaming a ton of games next week, after Christmas, but these games this week are just fucking terrible. I mean, look at these games they got coming up this week. Western Kentucky and Old Dominion today at 2:30 in the afternoon. So I guess right after Days of Our Lives goes off. I don't know. Tomorrow, UTSA at Marshall. Thursday, South Florida at Syracuse. Friday is the only. I might stream the Friday night game. Georgia Tech at Central Florida. But then look at these games on Saturday. Come on. Troy and Duke, Arkansas State and Northern Illinois, James Madison and Air Force, Georgia State and Utah State, Utah and Northwestern, Coastal Carolina State. Come on. Maybe Friday night's Georgia Tech game. Maybe I'll stream that. So here's what happened with the car, or what's currently happening with the car. So I did I tell y'all? I think I updated y'all on the when I lost it it was about a week and a half ago, I guess. I literally reached into my rope. I called up there. I yelled at everybody that it would answer the phone. I finally got the manager on the phone, or the owner of the shop, or whoever it is, some lady. And I told her the entire story from beginning to end. And she was very nice. She was like, all right, I'm going to go get your file. I'm going to go through it front to back. I'm going to go talk to everybody that's had anything up here to do with your car up here. Find out exactly what happened, what's going on, where we're at, all that kind of stuff. And I promise I'll call you back. This was like a week and a half ago. And she did. She called me back, and turned out they had screwed something. They had screwed up early on in the very beginning. And that set them back like 2 or 3 weeks, she said. And so she apologized for that. And basically what it was is when I first brought my car in, they, of course, assessed all the damage, the body first, and then they put the car on the lift and they looked underneath and figured out everything that was wrong under there. And then because it's an insurance claim, you know, they can't just say, oh, he needs a new this, and then they order it. He needs a new this, and then they order it. Whenever they find something, they have to send that to the insurance company, and the insurance company has to approve it, right? So anyway, when I first took the car in, they assessed everything on the body. They assessed everything underneath. They did everything they were supposed to do, except they forgot to take pictures of the underneath of the car when it was up on the lift. And for whatever reason, they didn't realize it. They sent everything off to the insurance company. The insurance company first sent back an approval for all the body work. So they went ahead, they ordered all the stuff for the body work. They got started on that. And they kept wondering how come what was taking so long from the insurance company to get back to them on the mechanical repairs underneath the car. Like, they didn't understand why it was taking so long. Meanwhile, at the same time, the people at the insurance company were waiting on the pictures, which never came because they never took the pictures. And it took, between the body shop and the insurance company, it took them 2 or 3 weeks of, each one was sitting around waiting on the other one to contact them. The body shop was waiting on approval from the insurance company. The insurance company couldn't give approval because they were waiting on pictures from the body shop. And the left hand wasn't talking to the right hand. And 2 or 3 weeks went by before the body shop realized their mistake. I guess somebody was going through the file and they said, well, wait a minute, there's no pictures here. And they called the insurance company, and the insurance company was like, yeah, we've got your whatever report, but we're waiting on, you know, there was no pictures. We were waiting on the pictures. So anyway, that set everything back 2 or 3 weeks. Well, by the time they figured that out, the parts they had already ordered for the body were in. So they went ahead and started on that. Anyway, and then that, y'all know what happened from there, which is basically nothing. The car sat around, and I needed a new front spoiler. The first front spoiler that came in was cracked when it came in. Now, I want you to keep in mind, nobody told me any of this for 7 weeks while my car sat up there. I called up there twice a week complaining that it was taking so long. No one ever told me any of this. No one told me, oh, we screwed up, we forgot to take the pictures. Oh, we got this piece in, but it was cracked. And the problem is, everything is back ordered. Everything is back ordered. So you order a front spoiler, instead of coming in 2 or 3 days, it comes in 5 to 7 days. Well, you get it in 5 to 7 days, and then it's cracked. You got to send it back. So now it's another 5 to 7 days before the next one comes in. No one told me any of this. No, nobody said a word to me about any of this until I finally got that manager on the phone about a week and a half ago, and she was very nice. She was very patient with me. She went through everything beginning to end. She answered every question I had. She was very nice. She was apologetic. Like, it was great. That was on a Friday. Not this past Friday. That was Friday 10 days ago. Okay? And she promised me, she said, we are getting your car on that rack on Monday. I don't care if I have to take another car off of that rack. I don't care what we have to do. You have my word. Your car is going on that rack Monday. And unless we run into any problems, it'll be ready by the end of the week, which was Friday, which was 3 days ago. So I didn't call. I didn't bug them. I didn't bother them. Well, Wednesday morning of last week, so Monday I didn't call. Tuesday I didn't call. Didn't hear anything from them. Wednesday, I called up there. I asked for the manager. She got on the phone. I told her who I was. I said, hey, just calling to check in. You told me on Friday that, unless y'all ran into additional problems, that it would be fixed this week. I'm just calling to make sure that's still on pace. And she said, yep, still no problems, still on schedule. It'd be ready on Friday. I said, okay. Didn't call Thursday, didn't call Friday. I sat around on Friday waiting on my phone to ring, telling me my car was ready. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. They close at 5 now. They close at 5, and they're not open on the weekends, okay? They close at 5. They're not open on the weekends. So I'm sitting around going, okay, if I don't hear from them today, then it's going to be another 3 days because they're closed. But I didn't want to call up there and bug them again. So I waited until about 3:30. I still hadn't heard anything from them. And by this point, I'm mad because here's what I'm thinking at 3:30. I'm thinking, my car's not ready. They know it's not ready. They know it's not going to be ready. And they don't have the balls to call and tell me. They're just going to hope they can sneak out of there at 5 o'clock and don't have to talk to me today. This is what I'm thinking. I'm sitting around just getting madder and madder and madder. So I called the lady at 3:45. And I said, can you come get me right now and take me up to the body shop? I want you to keep in mind, my car has been up there for 2 months today. Since October 18th. I haven't stepped foot in that place. I haven't been up there. And I've only called them a handful of times, maybe 4 or 5 times. It's not like I bother them constantly. But I sat around on Friday and got madder and madder and madder, and no one would call me. And I'm like, they're just trying to get out of here for the weekend without having to deal with me. So I called the lady at 3:45. I said, can you take me up to the body shop? And let me go in there and yell at people and get my car. She said, yeah. So she came and picked me up. I'm about 20 minutes from the body shop. She picked me up around 4:10, I guess. So it's about 4:15, 4:20 in the afternoon. I'm about halfway to the body shop. My phone rings. It's the body shop. We got good news and we got bad news. It's the manager, she tells me. I said, oh, hell, okay, what? Good news is your car is done. Fixed. We're done. Everything is done. The car is done. The bad news is the insurance company has yet to send over the final approval. Now, I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know exactly what it is they're waiting on for the insurance company at this point. I've got no clue. No idea. Okay? And I didn't tell her when she called me that I was on the way up there. I didn't tell her that. I said, well, what do you mean you're waiting on final approval from the insurance company? And she was like, well, as we were finishing up your repairs, there was a couple of other things we had to do, minor things, but a couple of other things we had to do. We went ahead and did them, but we had to send an addendum to your insurance company, and they haven't gotten back to us yet on that addendum. And I said, okay, well, what can I do? And she's like, well, you can call your insurance company, tell them that we've sent them an addendum. They need to look at it, sign it, and send it back to us. And I said, okay, I'll call them right now. I'm in the car now on the way up there. She doesn't notice. The body shop doesn't know I'm on the way up there. I hang up with them. I call Geico, my insurance company. I told Geico what they told me. The lady goes, well, it looks like here everything's been signed off on and approved. I don't know what it is they're waiting on. And I'm like, well, I don't know either. I don't work for them and I don't work for you. I said, but this is what I'm being told. They've got my car. And by this point, I'm yelling immediately when someone answers the phone. Like there's no question. Whoever's on the other end of the phone, they know right away I'm pissed off from the word go. There's no ramping up. I am 100 miles an hour from the time they answer the phone. And I'm like, look, I don't work for the body shop and I don't work for you. But they've got my car. They tell me they're done with my car, but they're telling me they're not going to give me my car because y'all haven't signed something and sent it to them. Sign it and send it to them. They've had my car 60 days, and I'm yelling at this poor lady on the phone with Geico, and she's like, look, I just answer the phones, okay? Keisha is the adjuster that's got to sign off on this. I'm like, Keisha? Who the fuck is Keisha? Because the adjuster I've been dealing with this entire time's name is Chris. Who is Keisha? She's like, well, Chris did your primary whatever, but Keisha does the addendums. And I'm like, well, I need Keisha's number because Keisha needs to sign this shit and send it back. Keep in mind, this is 4:30 on a Friday, okay? I know everybody's trying to quit work and go home for the week. I know that. But I'm trying to get my fucking car after 60 days, okay? So she gives me Keisha's phone number. She gives me the number. I call the number out, and the lady enters the number in her phone as I'm calling the number out because I don't have anything to write the number down on. I'm in the fucking car. So I hang up with Geico, and I call the number that she gave me for Keisha. Well, somebody answers the phone. It's obviously a household. And they're like, no, you've got the wrong number. Well, I'm like, fuck, great. So now I got to call Geico back. So I call Geico back again, which is not a simple process. You know, you call Geico, enter your policy number, enter your date of birth, all this shit. You do all that. Then someone different answers the phone, so I've got to go over the whole story again. And I get to the part of the story where I'm like, they tell me to call Keisha. They give me a number. They tell me this the wrong number. There is no Keisha. And then the person on the phone goes, well, I don't know why they're telling you to call Keisha. Chris is your adjuster. I said, I know. I told the last person that. But they told me, no, it's Keisha. And the person on the phone now is telling him, but he's like, no, it's Chris. I'm like, okay, well, give me Chris's number. So I hang up with Geico. I call Chris, who works for Geico. He's my adjuster. I call Chris, go over the whole story with him. I'm on the way up there. They tell me my car's done. They won't release it to me because they're waiting on you to sign something and send it back. Chris is like, I've already signed everything and sent it back. I don't know what they're waiting on. Everything has been signed and sent back. And I'm like, well, why are they telling me that they don't have it? And I am beyond drooling mad, shaking mad. I am yelling at this point. And I keep repeating, they say the car's done. They won't give it to me because they say you got to sign something, send it to them. Because I'm getting my car today. And he's like, everything is signed. I don't know what they're waiting on. I've got no idea. Okay, all right, whatever. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm 5 minutes from the body shop. I'm just going to go up there. So I go into the body shop, and this was hilarious because they've got no clue what I look like, okay? So when I walk in, they don't know who I am, why I'm there. They don't know anything. I walk in, there's a receptionist. I'm pacing back and forth like a fucking crackhead in there. Okay? She's on the phone with somebody. And there's like two people in line ahead of me. And I'm pacing around like I'm about to shoot up a post office or something. Okay? The lady sets the phone to the side, looks around the two people that are in line and goes, "Sir, do you need some help?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here to get my car." She said, "What's your name?" I gave her my name. She had this stack of folders on the desk. She looked through them. She was like, "Well, hold on a second. I don't see your folder up here." She got back on the phone. She finished that up. And then she started talking to the customer that was in line. Okay. Well, behind her, there's a door that clearly leads to an office. And clearly in that office is the manager or the owner, or it's just obvious that I don't know how to explain it. It's just obvious that that's what that office is. Okay. About this time, a lady walks out of that office, and I'm like, that's got to be the lady that I've been talking to for the last week. told me my car was ready and blah, blah, blah. So she walks out. She's standing by the counter. The receptionist looks at her and goes, he's here to pick up his car, but I don't have his folder here. I looked up at her. I said, yeah, and then I gave her my name. Her eyes got about as big around as the fucking moon. Once it dawned on her who I was and that I was standing in that lobby. I mean, it looked like she saw a ghost. So I immediately start yelling in the middle of this lobby. And there's 10 people in there total doing various things, 5 or 6 workers, 5 or 6 civilian type dummies, whatever. I'm yelling. I reiterate to her what she told me. You tell me the car's ready. The insurance hadn't done this. I've called the insurance company. They say they did it. And, you know, they say there's nothing else for them to give to you and blah, 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 blah. She was like, well, okay. She was like, okay, let's come over here to the computer. Let me pull it up. Maybe they've sent it in the last 10 minutes. She goes over there. She types some stuff in on a computer and she was like, we don't have it. And I'm like, what exactly is it you don't have? And she told me whatever she told me. And I said, okay, I'm going to call this guy, Chris, the adjuster, on the phone, on speakerphone. You're going to stand right here, and the two of y'all are going to figure this shit out. Period. Okay? Because you're not going to give me my keys, and he's telling me there's nothing left for him to send you. So y'all need to figure this shit. So I called the guy, Chris, and I put it on speakerphone. Now, keep in mind, Chris had told me 8 minutes prior to this, he sent it in. Okay? I get Chris on the phone. Chris, I'm at the body shop. The lady is here right now. She is saying she doesn't have the signed addendum or whatever it is that she needs from you. Guess what Chris says out loud for God and everybody to hear? Guess what he said? Well, Keisha has to send that in. I said, who the fuck is Keisha? Right in the middle of the lobby. I said, I don't know who the fuck Keisha is, Chris. I said, you're the only person from Geico I have been communicating with for the last 60 days. Who the fuck is Keisha? Well, Keisha handles the addendums, which is the same thing they told me when I called Geico. But when I talked to Chris 8 minutes earlier, he acted like he had no idea about that because it was 4:30 and they just want to go home. And so they're fucking stringing me along here. And I lost it. And you know, there's nothing I can do. It's Keisha. I said, well, give me Keisha's fucking phone number. Because keep in mind, the first phone number they gave me for Keisha was the wrong number. I said, give me Keisha's phone number. Well, she gets off at 4:30. Guess what time it is? It's like 4:32 at this point. And he tells me she got off at 4:30. I said, Chris, I don't give a fuck if she got off at 2:30. You're going to give me her phone number, period. He gives me Keisha's phone number. I call Keisha. Of course, Keisha doesn't answer. It's a voicemail. Oh, gay, guess what? Go fuck yourself. I get off at 4:30. Stick your whole arm up your asshole. Talk to you on Monday is basically what her voicemail message said. So I couldn't get in touch with Keisha. And Keisha's the only one on planet Earth that can sign whatever it is. That's literally all it is. A fucking signature from Keisha. So I left Keisha the worst fucking voicemail message I think anybody's ever heard. And I feel sorry for Keisha because I've never talked to Keisha. She's got no idea what I've been through over the last 60 days. And I absolutely unloaded on Keisha's voicemail. Then I hung up, called Chris back, yelled at him again for really no reason other than I just was mad. And I told Chris, I asked him for his boss's phone number. He gave me his boss's phone number. I called Chris's boss, whoever the fuck that is. Well, guess what? That dumbass gets off at 4:30 too. So he didn't have to get yelled at by Uncle Lou either. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's terrible. Lou done waited 60 days for his car. The body shop finally finishes his car, but he still can't get it because the insurance company didn't send a signature in. Well, it gets worse. It gets worse. I tell the lady, I'm finally done dealing with Geico. The only person that'll answer the phone is Chris. Chris says he can't do anything or is not going to do anything. It's got to be Keisha. Keisha won't answer the phone. She got off at 4:30. She won't be back in until Monday morning at 9. I'm out of options when it comes to Geico, other than calling the 1-800 number and yelling at whatever random person answers the phone. But short of that, I'm out of options when it comes to Geico. So I start yelling at the office manager again. And I said, I'm leaving here with my car. I said, I don't know what's not signed. I don't know who sent what to who or who didn't send what to who. I said, but you've been telling me for 10 days that my car would be ready today. I called you on Wednesday. You told me, yes, your car will be ready today. I called you, or you called me at 4:15 today and told me my car was ready. Now it's 4:45. I'm here. I'm leaving with that car. Go get me my keys. Sir, we can't release the car without the signature because, you know, if they don't pay. And I said, I don't give a shit. I said, I'm going to pay you my deductible right now. I said, but you're going to get me my car. That's the period, end of story. Well, let me call blah, blah, blah and see what we can do. And she went in her office, closed the door, and she didn't do a fucking thing. She went in her office and fucking cried probably for 5 minutes. Came back out. There's nothing we can do. Blah, 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 blah. I said, well, I want to see my car. I said, I don't even know if it exists anymore. So I at least want to see it. And this look came over her face again. This look comes over her face. We walk outside. She takes me. She unlocks the gate in the back where they keep all the cars. We're walking. I see my car off in the distance. We walk up to the car. It looked, the bumper was back on. The front spoiler was back on. They had to replace a headlight. They replaced 2 tires. They replaced 3 rims. That's on the outside of the car. I can't see the underneath of the car. I mean, you can't see the underneath of my car. You can't crawl under my car. My car's 6 inches off the ground. I'm walking around the car. They had to replace a headlight, okay? Walking around the car. I have tinted lights all on my car. The fucking headlight's not tinted. There's one, so it's one tinted headlight, one untinted headlight. I'm like, what is this? She goes, oh, well, we didn't notice that until we were doing the final inspection. Huh? Wait, what? What do you mean you didn't notice that? It's fucking obvious, lady. It might as well not, like, it couldn't be more, if the headlight just wasn't there, it couldn't be more obvious. What do you mean you didn't notice until doing the final inspection? And then I'm walking around, the car's not washed, the tires are filthy, brand new tires, filthy. They're supposed to clean, detail, all that kind of stuff before they get, none of that's been done. The headlight's not tinted. They haven't ran the final fucking diagnostics. She tells me, she goes, we still have to hook your car up to the whatever the fuck and make sure it doesn't throw any codes. We have to do the laser alignments. And but I said, wait, whoa. I said, I didn't call you. You called me 20 minutes ago and told me my car was ready, but that I couldn't get it and it's the insurance company's fault. Now I'm here and my fucking car's not ready. Forget whether the insurance company screwed up or not, whether they got to send you some paperwork or not. This car is not fit. This car is not ready to be picked up. This car's not finished. I said, now this is what I can see. What does the underneath look like? You just fucking lied. You lied to my face. You fucking lied to my face. You didn't have the fucking balls to call me on Friday and say, sir, I know we told you your car would be ready today. It's going to be another couple of days. I apologize. You didn't have the balls to do that. So you waited until 4:30 when you close at 5 to tell me, yeah, your car is ready, sir, but unfortunately, it's the insurance company's fault. You can't pick it up today. We're waiting on one piece of signed paperwork. Maybe that's true, but the car is not ready. You didn't know, lady, that I was already in my car halfway to your shop when you called. You had no idea. You tried to call me at the last minute, piss down my fucking leg, tell me it's raining, blame the insurance company for the bad weather. That's what you tried to do. You didn't know I was almost here. I can guarantee you one thing. The first place I am going, whenever I do get my car out of that hellhole, is to another fucking shop, and I'm paying whatever they charge for a post-repair inspection. I don't care if it's $1,000. I am paying immediately, driving to another shop somewhere here in town, and I'm paying for a post-repair inspection. And yes, I'm calling Keisha this morning, too. I mean, I was hot. So anyway, I do all that shit, and they just a million more excuses. And we're walking back out of the back lot towards the front of the shop or whatever. And they go, so what do you want to do? And I said, what do you mean what I want to do? I mean, I'm not going to whip your ass and take my keys. If you're not going to give me the car, then what the fuck? I guess I'll walk home. You know? What do you want me to tell you? And then one of the guys that was out there with her, I think she was afraid to go out there with me by herself. So some guy went with us. The guy that was with her goes, oh man, well, where do you live? Maybe I can drop you off. And I said, I'm just kidding, man. I got a ride. I've got a ride to ride because the lady was there with me. I said, I'm just kidding. I got a ride. I'm not walking home, man. But boy, I was fucking mad. I was mad. So Keisha's next in line. She'll get the call this morning. I don't want to hear boo from her other than I'm sending it in right now. Whatever it is they need. I don't know what it is they need. I've got no idea. That's another problem. Both the body shop and the insurance people. The body shop talks to me like I'm a fucking mechanic. I'm not a mechanic. I don't work at a body shop. You're speaking another fucking language, lady. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. The insurance people talk to me like I'm an insurance. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about either. Y'all need to talk to each other. Don't leave me the fuck out of it. Boy, I was mad. So mad. And then they're like, well, once we get all this cleared up and you can take your car, if we haven't done the headlight, you can always just like drop it back off up here at another time, and we'll do the headlight. And I said, I said, let me tell you what's going to happen with that. Let me tell you what's going to happen with that. I said, I don't know who does y'all's tinting or whatever that. And she goes, we actually contract that out. It's a mobile tent guy. He does a lot of work at dealerships, things like that. He's mobile, though. He doesn't have an office. He's mobile. He comes to us. I said, well, here's what's going to happen. While that guy is here, you're going to call me and you're going to tell me, hey, that guy is here. I'm going to drive my car in there and I'm not getting out of it. The second I park, he's going to tint that headlight. And then I'm backing out and leaving. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not getting out of the car. I'm not showing an ID. I'm not telling somebody to go fuck themselves. I'm not doing a fucking thing but pulling into a parking spot, and somebody immediately is coming out and tinting that head. That's what's happening. It's not going to be a thing where I drop it off up here at 9 in the morning and pick it up 9 Wednesdays from now. That ain't happening. I said, I'm not even getting out of the car. I'm not even turning the car off. I said, I tinted all these lights myself. It took me about 3 hours to do every light on this car. It ought not take him more than 15 minutes to do one headlight. I'm not getting out of this car. And he's doing it the second I get here. I don't care what he's working on when I get here. He's stopping that, and he's putting tint on my fucking headlight. I mean, I tell you. And then it's aggravating because, like, they'll say something that, like, where they're accepting responsibility, like, apologizing about, but then they'll turn around and they'll go, like, when we were out there, they pointed at this other car. He said, you see that car over there without the bumper? I said, yeah. He said, that car has been waiting 3 weeks for a bumper. I said, great. That's amazing. My car's been here for 2 fucking months. I don't know what point you're trying to prove, but so it's like they'll apologize, but then right after that, it's like they'll give an excuse. Well, I was mad. I was more mad than Hufferbilly Paul when we get to Las Vegas and he finds out they don't have any $15 blackjack. I've been so long without my car. When I get it, it's almost going to be like getting a new car. Not new, not that it's, it's not new. It's a used car, but you know what I'm saying? But like, it's been so long. Paul, you got to take an Uber to find $15 blackjack. I'm just being honest with you. In Vegas, you're going to have to go downtown to the last chance casinos. They don't have that anywhere on the strip. So, I don't know. And then I don't know for sure, but I don't think they did an alignment, which is insane considering that they had to replace 3 rims and 2 tires. And I'm guessing on the alignment thing. Here's the thing. Once I finally got back in the car and I was on the ride home, all these other things popped in my head. Like, why didn't I ask about that? Why didn't I ask this? Why didn't I say that? But you know how it is in the heat of the moment when you get, I was seeing red, But like, one of the problems with the car after the accident was the tires. And again, I'm a complete idiot when it comes to cars. Somebody in the comment section, I think, tried to explain this to me before, but generally speaking, tires go straight up and down. I know they can tilt in or out a little bit, whatever that's called, toe and camber and all that shit. I don't know anything about that. But what I do know is that my car's tires always went pretty much straight up and down. After the accident, they were clearly like at an angle. Clearly. Like obviously. And I think when they had me out there, again, I didn't specifically look. I didn't think to specifically check that. But I think they might have still been that way. So I don't know. You know, I don't know. I forgot to look at the tires too to make sure they are the same tires. Like, you know. I mean, I don't buy racing tires, but I don't buy the cheapest tires either. You know. And I don't want, so they better have replaced, if they had to replace 3 tires, it better be the same as the tire they didn't replace or whatever. 2 tires, I mean, not 3, 2. Yeah, and look, yeah, Jarvis, here's the thing. Went up there and showed my ass. But look, here's the thing. I worked retail for 20 years. Like, I'm normally on the employee. When I'm out somewhere and I see somebody, like, berating an employee, like, I'm generally on the employee's side. Like, I don't think you should just walk into McDonald's and start yelling at people. You know, I don't pull up and wait. But I'm also not going to go inside and yell at the cashier because it's taking 6 minutes to make my fries instead of 5. Like, I don't do that kind of thing. But I'm well within my rights to be angry over this car situation. Not only because it's taken so long, but because I've been lied to over and over, multiple times about multiple different things, including Friday, when she called me and told me, your car is ready, we would give it to you, but the insurance hasn't sent something over. Now, maybe that's true about the insurance, but the car is not ready. That was a lie. That was a lie. And so, and again, it's not like I dropped my car off a week ago and I'm up there stomping around and yelling and screaming because they've had my car for a week. They've had my car since October 18th. Okay. Now, that's way too long for the amount of work that needed to be done. And even if it's not way too long, they just should have been honest and upfront with me. They should have told me when they screwed up 6 weeks ago. They should have told me they didn't take the pictures and that's what the screw up was. And that they're having to wait an additional 3 weeks. And they should have told me all that all along. And they didn't. They shouldn't have called me on Friday at 4:30, 30 minutes before they closed, telling me the car was ready when they knew it wasn't. Regardless of whether or not they were needing something from the insurance company. The insurance company's not coming out there to tint my headlight. That's their fucking job. Their job is to return my car to pre-accident condition. That's their job. And so far they have not completed that job. Not as of Friday at 5 o'clock. No, you can't sue them. There's no amount of time. No, you can't. No. There's no legal obligation for them to finish my car in a set amount of time. And there's no legal obligation for them to tell me the truth. It's not against the law for them to tell me my car is ready. But then I get up there and it's not against the law. I mean, there's not much I can do but yell and scream. And again, this is 2 months before I ever went up there. So again, I'm not one of these people that have been up there hounding them every day. I have called up there on average once every 2 weeks. Once every two. I've called up there 4 times. 4 times in 2 months. No, I didn't have rental car coverage. I had no idea. I've had car insurance for 25 years. I've never filed a claim. I've never been in an accident. I didn't even really know. I didn't even know what my deductible was. I had no clue. I had no idea. But no, it turns out I did not have rental car coverage. And I don't know if that's something I did intentionally, like if I declined it, or if they didn't offer it to me, or if they don't offer it at all. I have no idea. But they told me I didn't have rental car coverage. So I've been without a car for 2 months. So I don't know. Now, if I picked a car up and it's not right, then I'm going to go back up there and I'm going to tell them, hey, something ain't right. And at that point, if they refuse to fix it, or the insurance company gets in the way, or there's anything that happens with that, then yes, I will get a lawyer and whatever I got, but I have to do. I mean, they're going to fix that car. I mean, I don't have any reason to think that it won't be right once once it's finally fixed. But if it's not right, then I'm going to have to take it back. Then they're going to, well, actually, no, I'm going to take it somewhere else probably. But as far as suing somebody or whatever, just because it took too long, no, I'm not going to do that. I mean, at this point, as long as it's fixed when they give it back to me, then I'm done with this whole situation. So, yeah. So that's the car update. What else do you want to know? Well, my heat went out yesterday. How about that? Is that interesting? And guess what? It's going to be 25 degrees here tomorrow morning. Well, 27. It's going to be 27 degrees tomorrow morning. I've got no heat. Sir, shut up. He says, I can't. He said, damn, you can't even go out and warm up in your car. No, I can't. I can't. They'll fix the heat. The heat will be fixed probably today. I'll have that fixed quick. I think the blower went out. Any heating and air guys in here? I think the blower went out in my furnace. When the heat kicks on, so I can hear it click on. But there's like this humming sound that comes from the furnace inside, not like the unit outside. You know what I'm talking about? The furnace inside. There's like this humming whenever the heat kicks on. It's just this humming noise. and the house isn't heating up. It's not blowing cold air. It's like nothing comes out. So I think it's the blower. But look, I'm about as ignorant when it comes to HVAC as I am when it comes to cars. So as far as that being something easy to fix or hard to fix or somewhere in between, I've got no idea. But that's going to be the second phone call I make today. Keisha's getting the first phone call. And then the HVAC people. The humming makes you think capacitor. No, the flux capacitor is in my car. It works fine. At least it did 2 months ago. I have been patient, and I'm not normally that way, but I have been patient. Live stream the call to Keisha. Ugh. UJ loses this many players every year. We lost, 17 last year? Bama lost 23 last year. I mean, when you recruit in the top 5 every single year, year after year after year after year, in the era of the transfer portal, you're going to lose that amount of players. It's a good situation to be in when you recruit in the top 5 like that, because what's happening is UJ signing a top 5 class. A year or 2 years later, whichever members of that class aren't good enough to play, transfer, and the only ones that are left are the ones that are good enough. And then that cycle just keeps repeating itself. So you end up with a roster full of players who are all good enough to play. Now, there are some exceptions. You're going to lose some good play. You're going to lose some. They're all good players. I don't want to say they're not good players. They are, but and this is just reality. I mean, you can you know, Bama, any of these teams, Ohio State, these teams that recruit in the top 5. The second string guy can start almost anywhere else in the country. It's just, I mean, that's just how it is. And so they're not going to sit around when they can go almost anywhere else and start. I mean, that's, you know, there are some exceptions, right? Like last year losing A.D. Mitchell and Bear Alexander, that hurt. So what hurt Georgia last year is not that we lost 17 players to the transfer portal. What hurt Georgia last year is that we lost 2 players that mattered. So far this year, I think we've also lost 2 players that matter. Jamon Dumas-Johnson, starting inside linebacker, and Marvin Jones Jr. Now, Marvin Jones Jr. has not started, and really he's been a disappointment, but I still think he has a lot of potential and could go somewhere else and be really, really good. So I would prefer to have not lost those 2 players. I mean, honestly, I'd prefer not to lose anybody, but in terms of like what might have an actual impact on Georgia next year, and look, I was honest with y'all when we lost A.D. Mitchell and Bear. I wasn't one of these Georgia fans who ran around saying it didn't matter. I told everybody that would listen from the very beginning that Bear Alexander would have been Georgia's best defensive lineman. No one believed me. Now the season is over, and what are those same Georgia fans saying? Man, we need help on the defensive line. Yeah, I know, because you lost your best. So I'm not sugarcoating anything. It hurts to lose Dumas Johnson and Marvin Jones Jr. Most of the other ones, it's the reality you live in, you know. If you recruit in the top 5 year after year after year, that means you're getting a lot of 5- and 4-star players. And if those 4 and 5 star players have been on the team for 2 to 3 years and aren't seeing the field, they're just not going to stick around. You know, they're just not going to stick around. So what you have to do is, replace. That's why Georgia's able to sign 30 players a year instead of other schools only being able to sign 20, 22, 23 kids a year out of high school. Georgia's signing 30 a year because they're losing so many. So what you got to do is you got to try to, especially if you're losing like players with starting potential, like last year, A.D. Mitchell and Bear Alexander. You got to make that up in the portal. Now, Georgia tried to make that up in the portal last year. They went out and got Dominic Lovett and Ra Thomas, and they're okay, but they didn't make up for A.D. Mitchell. So it was a net loss for Georgia last year in the transfer portal. Like what Georgia lost was more valuable than what they gained last year, in my opinion. Georgia brought in 3 transfers last year: Dominic Lovett and Ra Thomas at wide receiver, and some backup running back from Tennessee that nobody had ever heard of. Well, the running back never got on the field, and the 2 wide receivers combined didn't give Georgia what A.D. Mitchell would have. So it was a net loss for Georgia last year with the transfer portal. When you look at the transfer portal right now and the players that Georgia has lost, losing Brock Vandagriff, to me, only becomes a problem if Georgia's starter gets hurt next year, or if Carson Beck goes to the NFL. If Carson Beck goes to the NFL, then losing Brock Vandagriff becomes a much bigger deal, obviously, because he's in line to start, right? If Carson Beck comes back, then losing Brock Vandagriff, in my mind, only really hurts Georgia if Carson Beck then gets hurt next year. No, we won't miss Mekhi Muse. We can find somebody else to fumble punts. We won't miss some 5'5" walk-on. That's fake news. So, I would much rather have Jamon Dumas Johnson than not. But here's also the reality about Jamon Dumas Johnson. C.J. Allen's is just better than him. I mean, that's just a cold, hard fact. Now, Jamon Dumas Johnson might be an NFL player. He's really good. He's really good. But he's not as good as C.J. Allen. And C.J. Allen's a true freshman. Now, depth, you remember a couple of years ago, Georgia only, obviously you play 2 inside linebackers at a time. Georgia had 3 inside linebackers drafted in the first 2 rounds 2 years ago. So you rotate in and out. So losing Jamon Dumas Johnson, whether he loses, let's say, Jamon Dumas Johnson stayed at Georgia but lost his starting job to C.J. Allen, he would still play a ton because Georgia rotates in and out. But he didn't have no interest. He didn't want to do that. He didn't have no interest in that. And C.J. Allen's an absolute monster. But still, now you're in a situation where, well, what if C.J. Allen gets hurt? Sure would be nice to have a Jamon Dumas Johnson to stick in there. Well, you're not going to have that, So it hurts to lose Jamon Dumas Johnson. It hurts to lose Marvin Jones Jr. The other players, it only hurts Georgia in that it's going to make someone else better, if that makes sense. Like, what's that defensive back's name? Is it A.J. Harris? Which one? One of those DBs is really, really good, I think. It doesn't necessarily hurt Georgia to lose him, but it's going to make someone else a lot better. And that then could become Georgia's problem. Let's say, for example, Georgia did make the playoffs this year and had to play Texas. Okay? Texas having A.D. Mitchell is a problem for Georgia because he's really, really good. So that's what I mean with the DB. Like, someone else is going to get a starter that's really good. Tyreek, it's like, remember Tyreek Stevenson? Tyreek Stevenson was really good, but he couldn't get on the field at UGA, so he transferred to Miami, started, played well, got drafted, and starts in the NFL. Still today, he's been a 2 or 3 year starter in the NFL now. And that's why these highly rated players transfer, whether it's from Georgia. Alabama lost a player to the portal, which is unusual for a playoff team. Usually playoff teams, those players don't portal out until after the playoffs, usually. But what's that wide receivers? Ja'Cory Brooks, is that who it is? You know, and you know, the Alabama fans will say, well, we've got this receiver, and this receiver. Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. But whoever gets Ja'Cory Brooks is upgrading, you know. It might not hurt Alabama to lose Ja'Cory Brooks, but it's going to make somebody a lot better, you know. Like Texas losing Malik Murphy. Yeah, he got beat out at Bama, right? But he's going to go somewhere else and start and he's going to make somebody else better is what I'm saying about Ja'Cory Brooks. Malik Murphy at Texas, that's not going to hurt Texas, especially if Quinn Ewers is coming back. You know, and they're going to have Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning next year. But Malik Murphy's going to make somebody a lot better. Malik Murphy's a good quarterback, I think. So if he lands in the right spot, you know, and it only becomes a problem for Texas if Texas then has to play that team, you know. But I don't know much about the new DB. I'd never heard of that DB coach until he signed with Georgia. And all I know is what I've read, which is that he's a good recruiter. But do I know that to be a fact? No, I don't. But that's what I've heard about him, is that he's a good recruiter. And look, I trust Kirby with defensive hires. I don't always trust him with offensive hires, but I trust when it comes to defensive decisions, Kirby has earned benefit of the doubt, I feel like. So, yeah. Schumann will be Saban's replacement. Yeah, it's possible. I think it comes down to, I think if Bama wants him, they could get him, K-Star. I don't think he would say no. I think it's going to come down to if Bama wants to hire a guy who's never coached before. Because Bama's going to be able to get almost anybody they want, almost, with only a handful of exceptions, right? So it's going to come down to, does Bama want an experienced coach, or does he want to go like the Georgia route with Kirby Smart, the Oregon route with Dan Lanning, that type of thing? But Glenn Schumann is 100% going to be a head coach somewhere in the next couple of years, whether it's Bama or somewhere else. He's going to get a head coaching position somewhere, for sure. Am I doing anything for Christmas? Yeah, I spend all day with the kids until like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Well, no, that's not true. I spend all day with the kids until, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock at night. I go to breakfast at their mom's house. So I'll leave here at 8 in the morning, go to their house, which is their mom's house, eat breakfast over there with all of them, open presents, all that, hang out there till about 12 or 1, then pack the kids up and go to my dad's house for, it's not really lunch and it's not really dinner. They do like a 3 o'clock thing there, you know. I feel like a lot of people do that, though. So I guess it doesn't matter whether you call it lunch or dinner, but anyway, we eat about 3 o'clock at my dad's. So I'll go over to my kids' house, their mom's house, in the morning, breakfast, open presents, hang out till 12, 1 o'clock, load the kids up, go over to my dad's, hang out there, eat around 3, hang out for another couple hours, and then, the kids drive now. My daughter drives now, so my daughter will drive to my dad's, probably follow me over there, I guess. I'm still getting used to that, her driving. Normally I'll load them up in the car and take them over there, and then in the evening I bring them back home, but she'll probably drive to my dad's, follow me over there. And then after we eat and do presents and all that, you know, she'll leave sometime after that to go back home. Yeah, the car situation's a mess. I mean, look, I'm hopeful it gets resolved today, but, you know, who knows? Yeah, I got to get our PS5s aren't on sale for Christmas, so I got to buy. I don't have any reason to buy a PS5 or anything like that other than the college football game that comes out in July. But should I buy it now, or does it matter? Can I just wait till June and buy it? Like, are they on sale now for Christmas? Is it worth it to buy one now, or should I just wait? Because I literally won't do it. If I buy it now, it'll sit in a box until June. Like, I won't even open it. I've just got no need. I'm not downloading Fortnite or whatever. So I would only buy it now if it would save me money to buy it now. Okay. So if there's still 500, there's just no point in buying it now. I'll just wait. Now, I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to wait until a week before the game comes out to try to buy it, because I have a feeling they may sell out around the time that game comes out. The PS5, you're waiting on the PS5 Pro? Well, when's that coming out? Because when that comes out, the regular PS5 might go down. They got all the licensing for name and image now. I don't know if you're telling or asking. As far as I know, yes, they do have all the image and licensing stuff for all the teams. As far as I know. Xbox Series X or 370 at Walmart. I guess does it matter which one I get between PlayStation and Xbox? I'm not enough of a gamer to be like, I'm team PlayStation and Xbox sucks, or I'm team Xbox and PlayStation sucks. Like, I really don't care. I really don't care. I don't know. Is one legitimately better than the other? And I don't want to hear from a fanboy who, like, I'm just asking for, like, just honestly, is one just, like, clearly better than the other? I don't care about the games that are on and all, because all I'm going to do is play the college football game on it. If all I'm going to do is play college football, does it matter which one I get? Doesn't matter. Okay, good. All right. That's great news. Will I be able to play GTA 6 on either one of them? Because I'll get that game too, but I know that's over a year away still, coming out in 2025, but I want to make sure whichever one I get, I can play GTA 6 whenever that does come out. Yeah, okay, I can play it on either one. Okay. Anybody in here like bowling? I like bowling. I mean, I say I like bowling. I like going bowling like once a year, twice a year. I don't like it enough to go once a week, or whatever. I've never had my own bowling ball or my own bowling shoes. Now, my brother used to be into that. He was in a bowling league for a while, and he had the bag with like 2 balls in it, and he had his shoes and the whole washcloth and all that shit that you wipe the ball down with. I've never been. But, like if there's a group of us getting together and somebody says, we ought to go bowling, I would say, yeah, let's go bowling. No team asshole bowling league. No, not yet. I've been to Top Golf. No, I've not been to, no, I've never been to Top Golf. They have one here. In fact, last Christmas, I got a gift card to Top Golf, and it's still sitting in the, I have this basket on the kitchen that's like just a, you know, some people have a junk drawer. I have like a junk basket. It sits on the kitchen counter. I don't even know what, there's like a half a tube of chapstick in there, probably like $5 in change, you know, stuff like that. I have a Top Golf gift card in there. He's more into the NFL, my brother, than college football. I mean, he'll watch college. He watches the big games, college football. You know, if he doesn't plan his Saturday around college football. If he's got something else to do, he'll go do it. But if he's home and there's a game on that he wants to watch, he'll watch some of it. But he's not. He's more into the NFL. I had a lot of people talking about pickleball. Yeah, I've never played. It's gotten real popular over the last couple of years. I've never played pickleball. You rolled all your spare change this week. It was $235. Hover Billy Paul, that's about 4 hands of blackjack in Vegas, buddy. Paul, I'm serious. You can look it up. Google current blackjack minimums Las Vegas Strip. Most are $50 minimums. Some are $100. I don't keep a lot of spare change. I have a cup in my bedroom. It sits on the floor right next to my nightstand. It's a big plastic cup, and it is filled to the absolute brim with change. I don't know how much money is in there, but I think y'all have heard me talk about when I got in that car wreck about 10 years ago. Really bad car wreck. Broke both my legs, tore my knee up, broke my neck, ankle. Anyway, I was out of work for a long time. Had like 6 surgeries. Anyway, times got tough for Uncle Lou there for a while. And I would have that cup of change. And there were days where, like, I would have to count change out of that cup for one reason or another. And I keep that cup of change on the floor. The lady has asked me about that cup of change before, so she can vouch for this story, because I told her the same thing, because it's true. I keep that cup of change right next to my bed as a reminder. You know, of how lucky I am now, and to not take it for granted, because at any time you could be back to digging through that cup. Pillow fighting on ESPN now? See, this is what I'm talking about. They'll show pillow fighting on ESPN, and I've seen tag championships, literally grown men playing tag on ESPN. They show all this weird shit, right? But then April will come around, and they won't show spring football games. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You're telling me that they think more people will watch pillow fighting and tag than would watch college football spring games? There's just no, somebody is making a piss poor programming decision on that. ESPN should be televising 100 spring games if they could. Y'all all know how aggravating it is when these spring games come around. ESPN showed, what, 2 spring games last year? Georgia and Colorado. Those were the 2 spring games that ESPN showed last year. Georgia and Colorado. That's it. Some other spring games came on, like I think the ACC network might have shown a couple. maybe the SEC network, the Big Ten network. But as far as ESPN and their 19 channels, they showed 2 spring games, Georgia and Colorado. Yeah, Volusia Orange, it's true. I don't know if you're being funny with the GMPTL thing. I can't remember the name of it, but it has a name like that. And I've seen it on ESPN before. It's the something tag championships. I don't know if maybe it is GMPTL, but it's something like that. PTC or something like professional tag championship. It's got a name. There's a league, and ESPN will show the finals. It's fucking. And the thing is, if you've ever seen it, it's tag on an obstacle course. Like it looks like a playground. It's an indoor. It's an indoor playground, and it'll be 2 grown men running around, one trying to tag the other. It's literally tag from when you were a kid, but with grown people on an indoor playground. Yeah, I saw a bunch of clips or a bunch of quotes posted from the Chip Kelly press conference, so I actually went and watched it. Yeah, laser tag is fun. You know what else is fun that I guess for me it's like with bowling or laser tag. You might do it once a year, but escape rooms. Have y'all ever done an escape room? That's fun. Now you need a group of people. I guess you could do it with 2, but like if you happen to be out somewhere with a group of 3, 4, 5 people, those escape rooms are fun. Ultimate dodgeball. Yeah, I don't cornhole. Can't watch that either. There are loads of escape rooms in Shanghai now. They're huge here. Haven't done it yet. There's a couple here in Augusta. Where did I do one at? Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg was where I did one a couple of years ago. Well, I guess it was maybe 4 years ago now. Yeah. They let you out if you can't figure. It's all on a timer. You have so much amount of time to make it through, And once the timer goes off, that's it. They come and get you. I enjoy watching the Master Pro poker games on TV. I watch poker on TV sometimes. I don't watch poker on TV for the poker. I watch it for the personalities. So it's got to be someone interesting playing poker. I tell you one I saw the other day. It was a charity poker tournament, but Mr. Beast, y'all know Mr. Beast? It was Mr. Beast, Phil Hellmuth, Doyle Brunson, Senator Ted Cruz for some reason, Clay Travis. I watched some of that the other day. Mr. Beast went all in and lost on the second hand. He had an open-ended straight after the turn. He went all in. Well, somebody put him all in. It was Phil Hellmuth, I believe, put him all in. Hellmuth, I think, had aces. Mr. Beast had 8, 9 suited, and there was a 7 and a 10 on the board. So he was 4 to a straight. He was open-ended. He had 7, 8, 9, 10. Hellmuth went all in on the turn. Mr. Beast called him, and the aces held up. Mr. Beast went broke on his second hand. Mr. Beast is wild when he goes all in. I've seen him go all in with a few million. Well, he's got it to spare. Mr. Beast does. He's got so much money, it's ridiculous, ain't it? Yeah, he's loaded. The guy spends an average of $3 to $4 million per video in production costs. $3 to $4 million. Now, imagine how much he's making if he's able to spend $4 million to make the video, to produce the video. And plus, outside of YouTube, I mean, he owns a what is he? He owns some kind of candy company or so. He's I mean, that guy is a genius, and he's loaded. I think him and Logan Paul. Now, I don't like Logan Paul. I like Mr. Beast. He seems like a pretty decent guy. I don't like Logan Paul, but I think those two, because Logan Paul was a huge YouTube personality. That's how he got started, and he's sort of, him and Mr. Beast have sort of moved like beyond just the YouTube realm. Like, you know, Logan Paul's got the Prime energy drink and all that kind of stuff. You're talking about generational money. Yeah, I think so. I think Logan Paul is in the WWF or WWE, whatever it is. And his brother is a pretend boxer. Jake Paul. Jake Paul's a pretend boxer. Logan Paul is in the WWE. His brother Jake is the boxer. Or a pretend boxer. He won't fight a real boxer. Logan Paul is a champion in the WWE. Well, it's probably a good marketing move of the WWE to make him champion because he's so popular. Everybody knows him out. You know, Logan Paul probably brings an audience into the WWE that otherwise wouldn't be there. And Logan was a wrestler in college, I believe. Now, I'm not equating like real college wrestling or Olympic wrestling to what they do in the WWE, but the point is Logan is actually a really good athlete. Like I said, I don't like him. I don't like either. I don't like him or his brother. But I mean, you cannot like somebody and still acknowledge, reality. Like Logan Paul is very athletic. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here and start making all my yelling and screaming phone calls for the day. I got Keisha up first, call and yell at her. Then I'm going to call the body shop, tell them what Keisha said, then yell at them some more. Then I got to call the HVAC people and yell at them so they make sure they know they need to get out here and fix my heat today. So that's the plan. But it's good to be back. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And we'll do it again tomorrow. How's that sound? All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday and have a good morning.